Hey, this is Charles Johnson, founder of CharlesWyattJohnson.com and Mountain Movers Academy. This is your first video of our 3-video series talking about how to find out what your purpose in life is. What your purpose in life is. You are not an accident. This is not just, you're not a part of some kind of cosmic lottery or something. You are here on purpose. And as soon as you find out what that purpose is, your whole life is going to change. Mark Twain had a very famous quote. He said that the 2 most important days of your life is the day you were born and the day you figure out why. And that's part of how I want to serve you in this video, is giving you some tips, some things to look at that will point you to and toward what your purpose is. Like I said, truth be told, the only way you can really find out what the purpose of a thing is to talk to the Creator. However, you can be pointed in the right direction. I can give you some landmarks, some things to look at, some things to consider as you begin to look at finding out what your purpose is. So if you've got a pen, a piece of paper, get that right now. And I'm going to lay out about 4 or 5 things here in this very short video that's going to be a part of your journey toward finding out what your purpose really is. I got some notes here, and if you see me looking down a couple times, please don't bother with it. Don't worry about it. I just want to make sure that I get it right for you, because this is going to be a turning point in your life, and I want you to get all the information you can get. I really want to serve you in this way so that you can find out what your purpose is. You do not have to die not knowing. It's not supposed to be a mystery to you. You are supposed to know. And one of my favorite things, one of my favorite quotes is to die empty. Die empty, having fulfilled everything, all of the purpose being out of you by the time you take your last breath. Okay? So now that you got your pen and your pencil, right across the top, my purpose for living, or you can also say the purpose of my life, or you could say the reason why I'm here. But across the top, I want you to put a title for what this is, and then I want you to put a date beside it. I want you to put today's date beside it, so you know when this actually began to happen for you. All right? Now, the very first thing I want you to consider out of the 5 things. Number 1, who are you? Now, when I say who are you, I'm not talking about your title. I'm not talking about the kind of car you drive. I'm not talking about where you work or any of those things. What I'm talking about is who are you? Without all that stuff, who are you? And let me give you an example. I am a loyal person. That's who I am. If I say that I am your friend, I mean that. I am loyal. I am faithful. I'm faithful. If I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. If I say I'm going to do it, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I am consistent. I will continue to do something whether I feel like it that day or not. I'm consistent. So ask yourself, number 1, who am I? Are you consistent? Are you loyal? Are you faithful? Are you a happy person? Are you an optimistic person? Are you a person that has empathy? Who are you? Now that's number 1. Now, number 2, consider what you do. Now, when I talk about what you do, I'm not talking about a skill that you've already learned. I'm talking about what do you do that comes natural to you. It might be cooking, it might be counseling, it might be singing, it might be writing, it might be website design, photography. What do you do? It comes naturally to you. Okay? This is nothing you have to practice or work on, but whenever you're asked to do it, it just happens. There's some people in my family, they're just natural musicians. No lessons, no formal training. They just know how to play. And not just one instrument, several instruments. So, number 1, who are you? Then number 2, what do you do? And then number 3, who do you do it for? Now this is important. Who do you do it for? This thing that comes naturally to you. Who do you do that for? Is it for your family, your neighborhood, your church, your co-workers, strangers? Does it really matter to you? Who do you do it for? That's going to be very important. Who do you do it for? So we have first, who are you? Then, what do you do? Number 3, who do you do it for? And then lastly, what do those people want? The people that you do it for, what do they want? What I mean by that is, are they looking for counseling? Are they looking for a laugh? Are they looking for a good meal? What are they looking for when they come to you? You know, one thing I've realized that when people come to me, they're asking me for something specific. They come looking for something. They don't come, they typically don't come asking me, about accounting. They don't typically come and ask me about quantum physics. They come and ask me about a particular thing: teaching, counseling, advice, empowerment, education, encouragement. They come to me for particular things. So when they come to you, what are they looking for? What are they looking for? And number 5, what do they get out of it? What happens to them? What transformation happens to them after they experience your cooking, or after you've done their hair, or after you've written the song? What transformation happens to them? Now notice this here. Notice that 2 of these things have to do with you, but 3 of those things have to do with someone else. Your purpose has more to do with other people and your effect on other people than it has to do with you. All you really need to know is who you are and what you do. Who you are, what you do. And the other 3 things have to do with who do you do it for, what are they looking for when they come to you, and what transformation happens to them after they leave your presence. This is the beginning of you walking down the journey, walking down the road, finding your purpose. And like I said earlier in this it's not supposed to be a mystery. This is not supposed to be something that you will never find out about. This is something that once you find out what your purpose in life is, why you're on the planet, once you find that out, your whole life is going to change. It's going to change how you wake up in the morning. It's going to focus you. It's going to cause you to become so much of a better person when you find out what your purpose is. On our next video, I'm going to talk to you about clarity. Now, we kind of painted in some broad strokes on this first video. The next video, we're going to talk about clarity, being crystal clear. Napoleon Hill calls it definiteness of purpose. On our next video, we'll talk about it. Write down these 5 things, think about them, and ask yourself these questions. And as you ask yourself these questions, it's going to become more and more clear to you what your purpose is. I hope this has served you well. Thank you so much for joining me for these few moments, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Peace.